What's going on, everybody? What's going on? You know why I'm here. It's your boy AB, and thank you for checking out another one of my weekly Forex analysis. You know what it is. I usually go over a couple of fundamental analysis real quick, just very general, just looking over at what the high impact news is for the week, and then after that, I go over the charts. So, without further ado, let's just get it started. So Monday, as in today, or yeah, today, I guess, 4:35 a.m. Central Standard Time. There will be GP news where it's just Governor Bailey speaks. Don't know exactly what of, so I'm not really gonna. There's gonna be just I will just expect some type of volatility. I guess it's Monday, so you can never know. It could always be good or it could always be just basic stuff, but just something to watch out for in general. Tuesday, we have at 7 New Zealand dollar official cash rate, and we have policy statements and rate statements. Just this is what I would watch for. Usually, I watch for the press conference rather than the official numbers because it's more about what they're saying. It's kind of like the U.S. dollar with FOMC and stuff like that. They usually you want to watch for the press conference rather than actually the statements and the numbers stuff like that. Wednesday, there's no news. Thursday, we have GP news again. Same thing as on Monday, but a different time, 10:45 a.m., which is a little later than usual. And then on same thing, U.S. dollar, Fed Chair Powell speaks at 10:45 a.m. And 10 a.m. A lot of just speeches, I guess, this week more than anything. But still got to watch out for those because, again, high impact news. They could say something that could obviously move the market in one way or another. So let's go ahead and get to the charts. Okay. All right. So DXY, just to clarify what I have been saying for, or not have been saying, but like what I said from yesterday's like just quick analysis. This has been in a downtrend and it never really created a it never broke this lower high right here. When I really look back at it, it never really did break it. So this is just a continuation to the downside. As we can see, it's making a lower low, but I'm gonna go ahead and remove all that and show that we are still at this zone right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and mute you. All right. So, and of course, if you have questions, just go ahead and drop them in the chat. But yeah, so DXY is chilling at the zone right now. I want to see what it's going to do right here. It's been very bearish, as you can see from for the past couple of days, for the past week, just this past week, it's been bearish and this came back to the zone. What could easily, what can easily be the case is that price could obviously just come and take some liquidity down here and then start going back to the upside. Or this is probably what I'm expecting a little bit more, possibly. Well, not really, but this is something that's obviously a possibility. Is for price to drop, retest, and then keep dropping to the downside. Because let's go to the weekly time frame and let's see what the next major zone would be. Right? So get rid of that real quick. Take that down. Okay. So the next major zone is right over here. That's pretty damn far. But then you also have this support right here where price was bounced off as well. So I don't know. The chances of this dropping, especially with this bearish engulfing candle right here, is the chances are high for this to continue to the downside. But this can also be, and this is one of my favorite things to trade, a W. This could really be a W for the push to the upside. So I want to see what price is going to do right here. Maybe price is going to turn around. I still want this retest of this, unless if this breaks, then what I'm going to draw is voided. But I still want this retest. And so, like I said, this looks like a double top on the weekly time frame. Although I do see this bearish engulfing candle right here, I still want to see this drop. I mean, I still want to see this go to the upside. So that's what I'm waiting for. Don't really want to say anything more than that. And it's just, yeah, it's just this looks like it's been extreme. It's extreme. It's sold a lot, basically. Let me not get too complicated. It sold a lot, popped up, came back down to the zone. It could go and grab some liquidity down here because there is this wick that it previously did come down to, but then it could always just pop back up. So just gonna watch out for that, see what happens. Let's go into arbitrage real quick. See what arbitrage looks like. Okay. All right. So DXY weekly time frame. When it came down here previously, it showed that it was. Wait, where's my? There it is. It had shown that it was oversold and everything like that. So it popped up a little bit. And right now it's currently at the 2 DV. Let me zoom in actually. Right now it's currently at the 2 deviations right here. So it could very well hold as well right here, but it could very well just continue to the downside and reach to the 3 deviations down here. So could never be too certain. You might just want to be patient and wait on this potential pop or a buy. If you're risky, like probably what I'm gonna be, to be honest, is you probably go ahead and try to play that out and have a very tight stop loss. But again, it's just depending on what your preference is because everything is calling for a sell. Even the 15 minute that was calling for a buy is calling for a sell right now. But it opened up with a little gap I'm seeing, so price could potentially just go close that gap and then continue to the upside. But again, I'm not really feeling if you're not risky and if you don't want to be risky or if you want even if you want to be just in the trade right now, you can go ahead and get in this and use a smaller lot. But again, it's just a risky move. You might want to wait for a potential drop when it's a fake out, and if it's not a fake out, then it just drops and you wait for the retest and then keep going. So that's what I would do personally. I mean, this looks like it's setting up. I'll set an alert. Wait, before I do that, let me get rid of my alerts from last week. Oh, there. Okay, cool. I already did. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and set an alert for this to tell me, yeah, when to go long, right? Once per bar close, create, and then I'll start to pay attention to it a little bit more. But until then, I'll just, yeah, like I said, if you want to take any, like let's say for Euro USD, well, let me just go on and talk about it. But for pairs like Euro USD, if you really want to be risky about it and try to get into a trade, now might be a good time to get in because likewise, let me put this down here. Likewise with the DXY, Euro USD, chilling at this zone right here. That has once came and rejected off of before. I still overall want to see this retest right here. Never got that retest. I still want to get that. Um, if you really want to be picky about it, this is the type of fib I want to see, and it comes right into my buy zone for this would be a beautiful swing trade. Although it'll take years for this to play out, but this is what I kind of want to see on Euro USD, but that's only if it's going to retrace. If it breaks through this resistance, then this is definitely invalid. There we go. So, and even if that doesn't play out, kind of right now what price is doing is just playing in this range. Let me see. Regular. Okay. Go on to the daily time frame. Oops. Hide that real quick. So we can see that if price does reject right here, we could possibly just get price playing in this range for a little bit. Because, I mean, we do have in the past where prices, like let me just go on the weekly. We do have in the past where price does range a lot. Like look over here. When USD was down here, it ranged for quite a bit some time. Quite a bit some time right here. Ranged a little bit right here. It dropped while in a range, but it was just like a kind of sloppy drop. In my not sloppy, but it's just it played a lot in the range before dropping. So this can be one of those things where it could just be playing the range, which I'll definitely love to play right now. That's why I said I'm a risky trader that way, because this is a possibility. And then if I go to the 4 hour time frame, let's just take this impulsive move to the upside, right? Let's say that if price does reject right here, this is the type of setup that would look like to get into a buy anyways. So buy box. If this is going to go bullish. If this is going to go bullish, then I would want to, if I was going to get into it, then I would have to, A, either wait for the retest to my buy box and then to pop, or B, wait for a break, probably up to here, retest, and then a continuation, which I'm expecting more of this pullback to the downside. That's what I'm expecting more of. But again, and obviously we have all the political news that's going on, and so we don't really necessarily know how that can affect the market as well. So we may never know. But again, I want to see price reject off of the zone and then continue to the downside just to play the range, because I like playing the range. So that's for EU. Let's go on over to arbitrage and see what it's talking about. So just like how I said for the DXY, I'm going to set the alert. I'm going to set the alert on this as well on the 15-minute time frame, because everything else is probably calling for a buy. So short, once per bar close, and then I'll decide if I'll get into the sell or not. But until then, I'm just going to be patient. Arbitrage is my edge, so therefore I could play risky moves and then get out quickly. But if you don't have like an indicator that can do that for you, then obviously you might want to wait for some other type of indication, right? So let's go on to GU. So GU, I'm just gonna piggyback off of last week because this still looks pretty much valid. Actually, you know what? Let me remove drawings. Fresh start, right? So first and foremost, 4 hour time frame, GUs came back to this previous high. And then let me change this. Regular, right? It came back to this previous high and it's looking like it's forming some type of resistance up here. Let me move this over here. Right, let's go to the daily time frame, see what that looks like. Okay, I love seeing this. So remember 2 weeks ago when I had drawn this fib out, and then I wanted this retest. So we got the 61.8 retest. It came right back to it, right? It came right back to the zone. Love seeing that. But I personally don't know how I want to play this right now. Oops, I'm tripping. Sell-offs. There we go. So I kind of want to see how this is going to play out right here, because one, price did really drop. Like if I were to, like, if this was my usual strategy that I'll play, price would drop and then I would be taking 70% of my profits right here at this 23.6, which price did hit, and then it came back and stopped me out of my trade. So I either have to well, I'm not gonna have to. I still want to get this same trade right here from the previous setup. I still want to see this, but I'm gonna want to be really patient with this as well because I probably only have my stop loss up to right there to try to take this swing trade. Because if this does break this, it could easily just, if it does break this resistance, it could easily just do this. Get me into the sell, pop down, then pop back up. So that's something that I want to watch out for. But of course, I'm still looking for that trade. Because it looks like it's just a big double top. Oops, no, I want this. There you go. So that's for GU. I'm gonna go to the 4-hour time frame real quick because right now, currently, and again, let me hide this real quick. Price does look like it's in, a little range. Nothing too crazy as of yet, but the possibility of price dropping from right here does exist. And it's at the 61.8 off of the higher time frame. So like I said, it's a possibility to happen, but gotta wait and see what happens first. Just off of this break and retest move right here, because I don't know if you guys can see it. It's played out pretty nicely. Break, retested 78.6. Wick down to the 0.90, which if I would have tried to trade that, I probably would have got stopped out, then probably jumped back in, popped to the upside. Still have a trend line that this broke, but I'm not really gonna play that trend line right now. So I'm just looking for a retest of some sort because this played out nicely. Want to see if this can play out, possibly. Or it could come back down to this zone off of the impulsive buy. If it respects right here, though, of course. If it doesn't, then, it's a scrap. So that's that with GU. Let me go on to arbitrage and see what it's talking about. Yeah, this was the buy that I called. So yeah, GU, same thing. I'm pretty sure it's calling just for buys as of right now on arbitrage throughout. Yeah, 1 hour. Ooh, that's setting up for a good sell. 4 hour. Yep, calling for a buy. Weekly time frame. Everything's calling for a buy. So this, as of right now, it'd be kind of risky to try to get into a buy. Even the monthly, yeesh, that's scary. So yeah, trying to play the sell right now could be a little risky. I'll go ahead and set the alert for the 15-minute as per usual. Not gonna try to risk anything as of right now. If you want to try to get the tippy top, then good luck. Have fun. I'm gonna go ahead and wait on arbitrage. Create. I'm not saying that it's not possible because, like I said, it's at the 61.8, but I would personally want to get the sell off of the 71% overall. So just to show that once more. What I'm looking for overall, though, right now, if it does reject right here, is for price to come down and then pump to the upside. And where I would be looking, oops, where I'd be looking for a potential sell up here. I would rather come to this 38.2 right here because that matches up with my possible sell entry on the daily time frame for a swing trade right there. So that's what I'm looking at for GU. Gonna see how that plays out. Let's go ahead and go into AUD USD. All right, AUD USD. This swing trade is still in play. I'm thinking about. I'm probably just gonna end up well, I've already taken most of my profits, but I might just end up just closing out the whole trade in general. It's played out nicely, but I cannot ignore this right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and hide all this. Well, not all of it. I'm gonna clear that out. I cannot ignore this move right here to say that this could potentially be a drop coming. So, as per usual, I might actually get it to a sell right now. But I'm most likely gonna play this move off of arbitrage as well. I don't want to just get into the sell and then end up going up to the 78.6. But at the same time, this is my type of trade right here, because from this bearish move in general, yeah, and I'm looking at 78.6 for sure, because from this move in general, it never came back up to the sell box necessarily. So I'm definitely digging this a lot. Mm, I might actually stack this and end up getting two positions like this. So like half my position, let's just say if I'm playing this out, half my position look like this from right here to right here, where that's a 1 to 3.64, and then I have another position at the 78.6, and it's up to right here, and then it drops down to right here, or that's a 1 to 3.44. So I might play that. I might play this out. I like how this looks right now. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play this out right now. So let me go over here. I'm still gonna be in that buy though. I'm just like I said, I'm just letting it play out, and if it stops me out, then oh well. I'll probably put my trail stop. Let me actually see real quick. Yeah, I'll put my trail stop on AUD USD for right here at 0.71587. And if it's my trail stop, then I profited off of the whole trade. I think we caught it down right here, 140 pips, and that's pretty awesome for AUD USD swing for 1 week. So gonna go ahead and AUD USD. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do it right now because I have to do my calculations and figure out exactly how much I'm going to risk on this trade. I think I'm going to risk a total of 1% of my account, which I have to figure out exactly what loss size I'm going to use for this, and then what loss size I'm going to use for that, and all that stuff. So I'm going to do all that later on once I'm off of the live. But yeah, AUD USD, I'm loving this sell. Let's go on to arbitrage real quick. I'm pretty sure it hasn't called anything for a sell yet. So this is where I'm just using my naked trading skills and putting it to the move. So, but yeah, I'm liking what I saw. We're seeing that it showed this oversold right here. So I'm definitely looking for this to drop. All right, cool. 1 hour time frame is setting up nicely for a sell. I'm definitely setting this alert because the position that I have right now, if it's only that half, then I'll use this as another position so that I can take it so I can take even more profits. Again, this is the reason why I use arbitrage. So short, waiting for that alert. I'm already gonna have a position up here, but then if I get an alert to get another position, I'll be like, sure, why not? I'll take it. All right, and then obviously I'll see the exit and all that stuff. But as of right now, yeah, I'm really liking this sell a lot. So we'll see how that plays out. Again, I still am gonna be in this buy. So I'm basically hedging this. I'm still in this buy, but then I'm just gonna be like, if I'm setting my stop loss up here. So I'm trailing it, and if my stop loss gets hit, then I still profited again, like 140 pips. So I'm cool with that. All right, so let's go ahead. Let me close those off first. Watching these. I'm still in those. All right, so let's go on to GA. So GA, I'm still looking at GA going bullish. Which if AUD USD does go bearish and this does go bullish, which turns out to be good, right? I'm just gonna go ahead and get a new chart on this. Remove drawings. All right, so GA, it has came back down to this zone right here and is looking like it's rejecting off of it, right? Regular. Right here. It looks like it's just in the middle of this zone where it could potentially go bullish, because I do still see this potential move right here. No, I like this right here. Although you can count this and see that it still is at the 78.6. You could that because that's what I actually like to see better. That this could still potentially go bullish. And like I said, if AUD USD does go bearish, then this would match up with this going bullish, right? But I don't know. I'm just having a sort of feeling that it still can go bearish because, as I said last week, let me hide this Fibonacci tool real quick. Price rejected off of this zone right here. Pretty nicely. So, I mean, it could just be like, okay, this is the move that I might be seeing overall because I see this M pattern. So it could come back, retest, and then continue to the downside. Yeah, exactly. I'm seeing bearish momentum heavy, so I'm seeing that it could potentially go bullish for a little bit. That's the same thing I said last week, and I'm still seeing the same exact thing. On the 15-minute, let me see. Ooh. Oh man, and it's a double bottom. I mean, it's a double top, an M pattern. Yeesh. Yeah, you're definitely right about that. Look at that. Boom. You could play that low key. That actually might be a clean move, but I don't like. I mean, yeah, like I said, you could play this and it could potentially come back down to right here at like 1.800, which is, ooh, that's a good psychological level too. Because, like I said, I still see a potential, like it needs to retrace off of this daily momentum regardless, right here. It does really need to retrace this. So, oh yeah, look at that. Lines up perfectly. 61.8, then end up dropping. So that's what I want to see on GA, because I like this M pattern that I saw right here. So it came down, retest, keep going to the downside. I like seeing that. So if I could see that, then that would even be, like I said, more confirmation for AUD USD. So let's see how that goes. See what arbitrage. I'm pretty sure arbitrage is giving a buy. Yep, already giving that buy signal on the 1 hour. The 1 hour has been playing, but I could definitely see that this goes bullish. I was actually in the buy on Friday, but Price went bullish, then it took me out right here at break even. Then ended up coming even higher, and I was like, really? But still, yeah, I still see this move going bullish. Let me look at the 4 hour real quick. I'm pretty sure the 2 hour time frame is calling for a buy. Yeah, 4 hours still very far away from from that RSI line. Let's go into the 2 hour real quick. Yeah, the 2 hour time frame is also calling for a buy. Just something that I like to look at every once in a while if the 1 hour is a little sloppy. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely be getting into a GA buy. So I'm gonna set my alert to get out. So long exit all, once per bar close, create, and GA, I'll put a 0.15 and see where that takes me. And I'm just gonna put a stop loss for visual representation, but I'm just going based off of the alert. There it is. Just gonna put it right under here. But overall, what I first want to see is price cut back up here. Because again, I want to see a break and retest off of this move. And I like this is just off of arbitrage. Once that alert gets me like most likely this is what the alert is, if it does tell me to get out the trade, is gonna look like. It'll look like this, a 1 to 2 risk to reward. But I'm just putting my stop loss down here just in case it gives me like a flash drop or something like that. So let me see. Oh yeah, I'm already in. Yeah, I just got in. And so like I said, I'm just gonna wait and see if the alert tells me to get out or whatever happens. But I do want to see, again, I do want to see this move right here. I want to see this retest and then a drop to the downside. So let's just do it from the naked chart point of view. Where's my 1.82131? 1.82. Oh, you can even play it up to right here, because this is where I realistically would take it up to, like the 50% fib, and then see what it is from there. And then my stop loss, like I said, I'm playing off of the arbitrage stop loss, so I'll probably make it like this, like a 50 pip stop loss, but that's only for visual representation. Yep, exactly. Perfect. Yep, exactly. Just I'm only risking 0.5% of my account because this is just a retracement and not the actual move. I'm not gonna go ahead and risk a whole 1%. I'm only risking like 0.5% total of my account. All right, so that's the move. Let's see what happens. Gonna go ahead and do Euro AUD. Same, and it's basically the same thing as with GA with Euro AUD. I want to see that correction to the upside because I kind of see this happening right here. Where is it? Trend line. I potentially see a head and shoulders coming out and then price dropping to the downside off of this buy box. Because again, if you go into the weekly time frame, look where it rejected off of. It rejected off of this heavy as resistance. So I'm just like, I'm not really feeling this. I'm not really feeling the buy right now for a long term move. Short term, sure, why not? Because I would definitely love for price to come back up, pop, and then keep dropping to the downside. Because if we fib this daily move, well, look what we have here. So I really want to see how this plays out because I definitely don't like the bullish move overall, but I do want to buy that correction. So I might even get into this correction depending on what arbitrage looks like. I know there's a method to my madness. All right, so arbitrage is already called for that buy. It didn't necessarily come back down here to retest this RSI line, but everything does look good for a buy. I'm just gonna go ahead and place one down there regardless. I might actually, you know what? Let me see. Damn, that's a whole 40 pips though. And that's let me look see what the 2 hour looks like. And the 2 hours already, bro. I'm gonna play this 2 hour move. Hold up. Let me stop playing. I'm gonna go ahead and play this 2 hour move. So long exit all once per bar close create. So I'm probably let's see what this is gonna look like. To up here. 57 pips. I am so down to risk that because it's not even gonna the alert isn't even gonna come down to like six. I'll put it at 60 pips. The alert won't even come down to that unless it really crashes. Yeah, I'm so down for this. Let me make sure it's on. Euro AUD long exit. Perfect. I'm getting into this. So what I'm estimating is that if this does call for an exit, it'd probably be around like right here, which would be equivalent to like a 30 pip stop loss. That's what I'm thinking that if it does call for the exit, it will tell me to exit out of. So I'm gonna go ahead and risk. I'm the same thing. I'm risking about like 0.05% of my account because I'm only expecting a retracement. If I could find it, you know what? Euro AUD. Okay, bye. All right. I'll go ahead and figure all that out later. And if I need to reduce something, I'll go ahead and reduce. So let's go ahead and copy this. Bring it over here and paste it. Boom, perfect. This is the exact play that I want to see happen. It's a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio, but I'm loving it. And again, it could very well just let me get rid of this real quick actually. It could very well come back and hit this 78.6, but I have very high doubts of that. But yeah, this is what I'm looking at for this move. It looks very nice. And of course, arbitrage is there to give me that assistance. So I'm gonna play it out. All right, so let's go ahead and go on to Euro GBP. Oops. I need to do that. Need to do that. Yeah, I got you, bro. Actually, yeah, hit me up and and Peyton, we could get on the call, talk about that stuff because Peyton knows about arbitrage as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove drawings from EG. All right, so EG, um, this is something that it's kind of interesting for me because I'm kind of like torn about this because look, so basically what we had. Remember that sell call that I had on last week? Look where price came and rejected right off of the 78.6. That's why I had drawn that out. And I've been talking about this same move for the past how many weeks now for Euro GBP. So I'm kind of like, is this gonna go bullish or is it gonna go bearish, right? And so I go into the weekly time frame, and then I also see that this is it doesn't it's not looking that great for for a buy right now. I mean, for a sell right now, because we can come and see that price rejected off of this zone that held pretty. It held pretty well. It just came and wicked it. So, and we see this engulfing bullish candle. So this could potentially mean that EG can go bullish, but I'm not still buying it because I don't know. I'm just not feeling it like that. I'm not feeling the buy that well right now because at the same time, come back to the daily time frame, we see all these rejections on this zone right here. There's multiple rejections off of this. So I'm just like, okay, if price is just going to keep rejecting off of this, then I can't necessarily think of buying it unless it does something like this. Unless it actually closes over and then it has to come and then reject off of this zone as well. So I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of torn on EG right now. Kind of want to wait and see where it goes. Because I do see that it is at this small little resistance right here. I mean support right here that it could definitely bounce off of and go bullish, but it's kind of in the middle of nowhere-ish to me. I'd rather it come up either up here or down here. So I'm just gonna wait out and see what EG does, unless obviously arbitrage gives me a solid move. So let's see what RB is looking like. Let me see. Okay. All right, so daily time frame, definitely bearish. So that's number one. 4 hour time frame, called for the buy, could definitely drop down to retest the RSI line and pop, but I don't like how it looks. 1 hour time frame. Hold on. Drink water, y'all. 1 hour time frame. Still kind of iffy on it. I don't like how this looks, but it could be potentially calling for a sell to the downside. And 15-minute time frame is already called for the sell, but it's at this support right here. So basically, if price breaks this, you can wait for the retest and then keep selling it, I guess. But again, I'm not really feeling it that much because it could just respect this and keep popping. Um, Personally speaking, I don't really care for the buy opportunity, especially with these daily candles looking like this. I don't really care for it. Impulse correction continuation. I mean, on the daily, that's literally all I see right now off of this daily move. I can't ignore this. I really can't ignore this. It just looks. This is my setup. This is what I literally look for in trades. So yeah, the buy opportunity, I see it definitely. But I'd rather prefer to buy it down here than up here because if I'm gonna buy this, then this would have to be my trade right here. Which long term I might think of buying, I might think of doing it, but then I'm gonna want to put my stop loss right here so that my risk to reward is a 1 to 2. Because if I put my stop loss right here, then it's gonna be a 1 to 1, 0.67, and I can't have that type of trade. So I'm gonna have to put it like right here. So I mean, it's all right, and whoever is drawing on my thing, let me see. I'm trying to get rid of that annotation. And I can't even clear that out. That's too bad. Whoever drew that, can you please go ahead and erase that, please? I'd appreciate it. If the person even knows how to do it, because a lot of people don't know how to use the annotation tools on Zoom. But anyways, I'm just gonna have to bear with it. But yeah, this is the if I was gonna buy, this is exactly how I would buy EG right now. So it looks decent because like I said, impulsive retest and then continuation. It looks nice, but my stop loss would have to be right here, and it's a 1 to 2.36, which I'm not really crazy for. And these daily candles that are right here, I'm also not too crazy for them. So that's why I'm just kind of like, And then if you also want to play it like one, hold on. If you want to look at it like this type of way, it could definitely come back up and reject, but it hit that 61.8 right here too. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm not really crazy over the buy, but I'm gonna play it regardless because this is my type of setup. And if I see it, I'm just gonna probably put less of a risk on it. So definitely would like to buy this. I like this move overall, to be honest with you. It's just arbitrage hasn't really necessarily called for anything for a buy, which is also making me, except for the 4 hour. 4 hour is definitely holding right here, so that could be like a better. And this is also over the 1 hour arbitrage. Yeah, I mean, I'll go ahead and actually, you know what? Yeah, let me stop. Let me stop playing, man. I'm over here acting like I ain't trying to make money. Long exit all. Once per bar close. Create. Yeah, man. Let me get into this. Because guess what? If I get into this buy, literally, this would be my stop loss. It's a 7 pips. Yeah, man. Let me stop playing games. I'm over here acting like I can't risk. I can't be risky. I have the golden chalice. Now I'm just playing. But by all means, I do think that arbitrage is the best indicator in the world. Hands down. That's just my opinion. But anyways, yeah, I'm in this buy. If arbitrage gives me the exit to get out, I'm only risking like 7 pips, so I'm good. In fact, I'm gonna double down on this because now I'm just risking 14 pips. I'm totally down with risking 14 pips on a trade. So let's see how that plays out. You could literally take this trade setup right here. It's a 2 to 1, but this is like my entry for the swing. For the swing opportunity, right here. This is how I played for the swing opportunity. I'd place the buy right here at 0.90211. Stop loss at 0.89100 basically, and take profit. Like this is where I would make sure I take at least 70% of my profit, and the overall TP is at 0.92836. So that's for the swing opportunity. I'm gonna play that regardless because again, that's what I see off of this. If my stop loss gets hit right here, then oh well, it is what it is. But I can't not see my setup and not trade it either. So yeah, and look at that, already in profit. That's funny. Anyways, let's go ahead and go over to Euro NZD. This is gonna bug me. Lesson learned. Next time I'm just gonna disable annotation for everybody in the beginning. Anyways, let's go ahead and go on to look at Euro NZD. Road drawings, hit TP. That's a nice trade. All right, so price ended up coming back down to this support right here, right? I still can't look at this and not play this bullish move right here. Because let's just say if we grab it from that wick to the upside, prices, it just came and hit this 90% fib, which it could literally just keep hold right here and then bounce to the upside, which kind of looks good. And that also, like, if you're looking at it from a euro point of view, that's also what kind of looks like what could happen with the euro. Because look at euro USD right now; it's very bullish, even against the US dollar. You have euro GBP; it bounced off of that 78.6 level, so that could be showing bullish momentum off of the euro. This is showing the same thing, so I'm kind of looking at this like this can turn around and go bullish. Weekly time frame, you can't show me this and tell me that this. I mean, I hate doing this, but fibs is life. 78.6 right here, even from how many weeks ago? It didn't even come down to the 0.90, so you would have been in profit in this trade. Fibs, fibs, fibs is life. Fib squad. Yeah, that's exactly my thing about Euro NZD. I want to definitely swing by it. I'm seeing a lot of good swing opportunities right now still. But look at this bearish move right here. If I were to play this from this move right here, then I definitely would like the pullback to up here at my sell box. I would definitely consider that, but overall, I want to play this move bullish because, like I said, on the daily time frame, if you look at it, it came and hit the 78.6. It dropped a little bit, but it never came to the 90. But then, like, well, not over here. I mean, from it dropped, came up here, then dropped again. That's what I'm like. I could watch for the sell up here, but overall, I want to buy this. Especially since I'm seeing this 4 to 5 days rejection off of this zone right here. If it does break this zone, absolutely I'll get out most likely because it'll just come and hit the 90. So I'm gonna go ahead and well, but then like again, and this is my thing again. I definitely want to see this sell when it comes up here because take a look at this. Again, this is my type of trade setup. Price came, hit the 78.6, and it came and hit the 23.6. This is where I would have taken at least 70% of my trade. And then I would have even care. And then my stop loss would have got hit at break even right here. So I would even be looking for another buy, but just because of I've seen 4 to 5 days of rejection right here, that's why I'm like I could potentially see it still go bullish. And so it'd be a little riskier, but if this holds, then why not? And so let's go see what arbitrage has before I make a decision on this. So, you can't show me stuff like this. 1 hour time frame call for the buy. It hasn't necessarily came and retested right here. Let me see. It's all right. So it hasn't came and retested this RSI line quite yet. So I'm kind of like watching that. 4 hour time frame, I don't like seeing this. It rejected off of the 4 hour RSI line, but it's still showing that it could potentially go bullish. So I kind of have to still wait for that 4 hour time frame. Daily definitely is not calling for any buys. So it's kind of like this is a lower time frame type of move. Um, and I'm seeing this gap right here. So you can play this either one or two ways, and I'll go ahead and set up both alerts. You can either wait for your NZD, the 15-minute time frame, to call for the buy to get in. So I'll go ahead and create that. Or you can go ahead and get into the buy right now on the 1 hour, and I'll go ahead and set it for the exit. Once per bar close, create. All right, so and whichever one happens first, yeah, like ooh, hold on, boy. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, but whichever one happens first, then we'll see what happens. Because if this were to call for the exit, I think that it would most likely do. Ooh, that'd be for like around 40 to 45 pips on this buy right here. So it's a little risky. Um, I would definitely rather prefer to get an entry right here at this RSI line. So that would be like at 1.74790. That's what I would prefer to get an entry at, and then I'd wait for the buy, or then I'd get into the buy. But if that doesn't happen, then again, you have the 15-minute. I have that alert set, and it will tell us when that we can get into the trade. But yeah, that's what I'd rather prefer. Because if that happens, 4 hour, we can get that impulsive buy, and then I'd wait for the retest on the 4 hour and then continue buying Euro NZD. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and copy this, go on over to over here and paste it. Yeah, look at this. This looks like a baby trade compared to the swing move. But again, it's kind of like a risky move because again, this could just very well be going bearish. But I do want to see, did I hide it or did I delete them? Yeah, I hid them. Cool. I still want to see this happen overall. High key. So we'll see how that plays out. But again, if you want to get into the buy early, then by all means, I'd rather wait for price to come to 1.74800 basically, and then I'll buy it. But other than that, if you want to buy it, by all means, the alert is on for both the 15-minute entry and the 1 hour exit. So let's see how the things play out. You can't not risk money to make it. You have to take risk, whether or not they're in your favor or not. All right, Mr. Gold. Mr. Gold, I love you, first of all. Second of all, huh, I'm still worried about this because I don't necessarily want to say that it could reject off of here and continue to the downside because that is a lot of impulsive, oops, what am I doing? That is a lot of momentum to the upside for this move. What I'd rather see happen is something like this. Now, you could either take it from there, or you could take it from this low down here. I'd rather play this first of all before playing that bigger move. But for price to reject off of here, possibly come back down to 1912 to 1904, and then continue to the upside. That's the only way that I'd want to really look for a buy opportunity on gold. I mean, it could obviously come to 1921 and reject off of this zone right here. For sure, can definitely happen. But that's the only way I'd want to get into this this continuation buy. I'm still gonna hold this swing buy right here, by the way. I'm still gonna hold it because I still want to see gold go bullish. But at the same time, let me delete all this, or actually hide. No, I need that. Let me hide this. Okay, hide all that. I could play off of this fib right here and still argue that this is going to sell. That's what I hate about fibs sometimes, because there's always a fib this way, fib that way, fib this way. So you could definitely see how I could be like, ooh, off of this zone right here, from this wick where price started to drop, I could play off of that and say that, okay, gold can go bearish right here. And that's where, you determine your risk, figure out if you're down to play the move or not, because I'm low-key about to play this move because I want the pullback for the buy. See how that plays out in our favor. So I would want the pullback up to like right here, and then price goes into a buy, and then if it does pull back to right here, it doesn't necessarily come to the 23.6 that I would like, but I still can make a good amount of pips off of this move. So with that being said, this is the type of gold sell that I'm going to get into. Bro, who is this? Hold on. Who is this that's putting all this drawing on my thing? Because I'm not appreciating it, no cap. Yeah, for us. Because I think, hold on, let me see. I'm going to pause the recording. Like I was saying, I'm gonna go ahead and place a risky. I'm still holding this swing buy on gold, but I'm gonna go ahead and play this risky sell right here. Probably gonna risk like about like 0.5 or 0.7% of my account. So I'll put my stop loss at like 1978. That's a big move. And I would even down to right here, it's a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. So I like that, but I ultimately would want price to come back down to right here, maybe. But that's asking for a lot regardless. So let's see how this goes. I like this. I like the risk to reward for this trade though. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this out. Um EG playing games. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wait for this, see how that plays out. I would love again for this to happen. So Fibber retracement down to like the 71, which is at 1904. That matches up pretty nicely with what I said I wanted to take my partials. But then also if it comes down to right here, then hey, I'll definitely take the sell as well. And my swing trade would just be hit at break even, but I can get back in. So let's see how things go. But yeah, that's a lot to. There we go. All right, so that's for gold. Let's go on to SPX. So unfortunately, this hit my stop loss, and so yeah, I'm just gonna have to hold that L on SPX 500. But I'm still gonna be looking into see what happens for right now. Let me just get rid of everything actually. Remove drawings. I'm gonna wait and see what happens. It is on its way back up to all-time highs, which is wait, let me just make sure. Weekly time frame. Yeah, all-time highs is still up here. So gonna wait and see how that plays out. I'm probably gonna end up getting out of US 30 as well. So if you want, you can go ahead and look at it from this point of view. Yeesh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days of bullish move at the 90% off of this whole bullish move regardless. We can see let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens. And if the price does come back down over to 3,510, then hey, maybe I'll play that off. But as of right now, I'll hold the L on SPX as my first L of the week, I'll say. And we'll see how things turn out. For this, let's go ahead and actually go on to arbitrage. Right? It's kind of funny, but yet what were people saying? That's why I don't like listening to rumors because a lot of people were saying if Biden wins, then the S&Ps and the indices are going to go bearish. That's why I don't like listening to the rumors, and I just follow what I look at on the charts, because if you go and listen to other people's opinion, then you might go and lose a lot of money on an invalid opinion, which, I mean, at the same time, that's what you guys are here for, but it's just my opinion, you know? Dang, it rejected off of this upper danger zone nicely. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to wait out and see what S&P is gonna do. I'm not gonna try to buy it, but I'm also not gonna try to sell it while it's going bullish like this. So gonna wait for S&P to tell me what it's gonna do. Yeah, exactly. Just like for this, you might as well just wait for it. And then for the Dow Jones, I'm still in this. Technically speaking, I should be in my secondary position for this trade, but then my stop loss should actually, yeah, I was thinking I was gonna set my stop loss there. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that right now so that I don't have to risk any more of my account. All right, so I'm out of this. I'll go ahead and take the loss. It is what it is. I'm not going to get into the second position. I might, but it depends on what price does right here. But same thing, at the zero point 0.9, it's close to up here to the 100. I'm going to see how this works out. But I'm not in this trade quite yet, but I'm not saying that you can't get into it. It could very well just reject right here and then go bearish. So let's see what happens, you know. But as of right now, trend line from this high to this right here. Technically speaking, if price comes up here and taps that, it could still go drop. Fibs. Fibs is life, man. So let's see what's good right here with the indices. Like I said, I'm out of the trade. I took the L. It is what it is. And we'll see what plays out after that. 15-minute, again, extremely bullish. Don't want to try to sell it from this high until I see some type of correction. Maybe I'll look at the 5-minute for once. But even that, very bullish. So don't want to play with the indices right now. Um, and let's see what we have here. Cryptos, I'm not going to talk about them right now. I just want to focus on the Forex pairs for now. I took that L last week with Mexican peso. Oops, did not mean to do that. Just going to go over it real quick. All right, USD Mexican, extremely bearish. I don't even know. Okay, let's just say that we're taking. Oh, wrong tool. Let's just say we're gonna just fib this whole daily impulsive move, which is kind of insane, all the way to the wick up here. It's in the sell zone, and I don't want to. I'm not a fan of trying to be in swing trades of exotics because they're so heavy. But off of this whole move, I still see a potential buy right here. I'm not going to play it off. I'm just going to be looking at arbitrage on the 15-minute, and I'll give you guys like alerts and stuff in my chat when I'm like, okay, I'm going to get into a buy or whatever. But as of right now, extremely bearish. Don't want to touch it right now. So yeah, that's about it. Is there any questions or any other pairs you guys want me to look at? All right, nothing. Cool. Oh, EJ and GJ? Sure thing. Euro JPY. Let's see what we got. I don't usually trade these pairs, but I'm definitely down to look at them. All right, so Euro JPY. Okay, I see that it's came back to this zone right here. This could be a potential fake out for a potential buy. Let's see. Gonna fib this right here. Came down to the 78.6. This might be a buy. I like that off of this daily move. So buy box. Yeah, I like this buy move. It's at the 61.8 right now. So if I were to get into a buy, I would realistically do it like this. Where this is for a swing though, because I mostly look for swing moves. So I'd probably look for something like this. Because I mean, it is in an uptrend. You can't deny that this is not in an uptrend at all. Like it's definitely trending to the upside. But at the same time, you don't want to be too risky and like go and put your freaking full margin on this one trade. Oops, I did not mean to delete that. Okay, so that's for the daily 4 hour time frame. Kind of has to break through these highs to continue to the upside. Um, if you want to count from this low to this high right here before price push to the upside, you can, and then look, it came to the 78.6, almost hit the 90%, but then continue going bullish. So that is one way that you can look at that move right there. But like I said, it has to break through this zone first to continue going bullish. So it hasn't necessarily, I mean, it has closed over here. It has definitely closed with this bullish engulfing candle. It did close over this previous um, lower high on the 4 hour, but still it's under it right now. So this could still potentially drop. Oh, and that's kind of like, don't know how I feel about that. But let's go on to arbitrage and see what RB has for us. So the 15-minute time frame called for the buy. It's bullish. It's like, nah, I'm chilling. We good. Let's keep buying. Hold on. Did alerts go off? No, never mind. 1 hour time frame is already called for that buy as well. So that's gone bullish. 4 hour time frame. This is what we were looking. This is what I should have been looking at. Cool. So 4 hour, it broke, retested. I think I remember. I think I talked about this last week with Peyton, when he was doing his live. That EGA said that as long as it's over this where these wicks are at, that it's gonna keep going bullish. So 4 hour definitely still looks bullish to me. And daily time frame, it hasn't set up quite yet, but it's almost there to call for the buy. So I would be playing that 4 hour move. Um, Here, just for you, I'll go ahead and set an alert to tell me when to get out of the trade, long exit all, for the 4 hour time frame. And if I don't have enough alerts, then I'm sorry. Okay, no, I do. All right, so that's EJ. And for GJ, oof. I don't know when I mapped that out, but yeesh, that wick, that would have been a nice entry for a sell. Anyways, remove drawings, daily time frame. So for daily, I have to acknowledge that this is in a downtrend. So play out that fib, came up to the 50%. I hate that 50%. Um, I mean, for me to try to be able to sell this in good conscience would be for prices still climb up to here and then end up dropping if it's really in a downtrend. I do see this trend line right here that price has been respecting. And then I also do see this move right here as well. So you just kind of have to wait and see which one breaks out to which side. But I do want to see price move to to the upside for sure, so that it can go and retest up here, then drop. That's what I would look for on GBPJPY. Weekly time frame, yeah, especially weekly, it gave off that huge bearish engulfing candle. So yeah, I would want that. It looks like it's actually could be a potential head and shoulders. So yeah, that's what I like for GBPJPY. Let me go on to the 4 hour. Same thing as with Euro JPY. Looks like it's going bullish. It just needs to break this current small resistance it's at for it to continue. Daily time frame, it's about to call for a buy as well. It just needs to break through the RSI line. So if it does close over this black RSI line right here, then yeah, you're all good for the buy. So both Euro JPY and GBJPY, I'm bullish for them long term. You good? All right. So if no more questions, then I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. No problem, bro. Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll go ahead and post this recording up shortly. And let's make some money this week.